That's about that. The name is there, you know already. Okay, you want to give me some nickname? What will it be?
Staff Slim.
Staff Slim. Slim. Hey, please. All right, so Hamza, during the previous session, Hamza actually was going to talk about blockchain and crypto, but he did very well because he touched on most aspects of Cardano, founded by Charles Hoskinson, who also co-founded Ethereum in 2017. We know the Ethereum founder with Buterin and co. Now, as a tech generation, aim at what? Improving the limitations of earlier blockchain platforms like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And there are three ways they want to do that: scalability, interoperability, and sustainability. To scale, to be able to add more services or more functionalities to the blockchain. Okay, and for interoperability, have the chance of other chains, Polkadot, even Bitcoin to work with Cardano. Because in an ecosystem, you shouldn't just be static. You should be able to have an interoperability systems where people can build and integrate solutions. Someone was asking me about how telcos can integrate their APIs into Cardano blockchain. So interoperability is one key thing that the Cardano ecosystem stands for. Sustainability, of course, we want to be able to have a serious governance model and programs. That's why the Catalyst grant program continues to run, so that we can have a lot of corporate institutions and even individuals coming. And that's why we have the partners category where individuals can come and build on Cardano. By so doing, the ecosystem grows. But once you get funding from there, you are going to contribute to Cardano. Is that okay? And in the end, we can even exist on our own without Project Catalyst. And that's how we can sustain the impact and operations of the ecosystem. Do you understand? Of course. So next, please. Yeah, so security is one key, sustainability, scalability. The native currency is what? ADA. With ADA, once you own it, you are now a shareholder. You now have a voice. It's just like having voter ID card. You now have a voice, right? Voice of what? Choosing leaders. Choosing the president. Now, some use cases: supply chain tracking, data identity management, data storage, and voting systems. Sierra Leone use blockchain to create their voting platform, and it worked very well. Countries can leverage this to be able to manage data. Now we have our identity systems. Data, what's that? Ghana card works very well, but with blockchain, it will be more effective, easily verifiable, and it will avoid impersonation. To avoid impersonation, look at how AI is now doing to us. AI, you can duplicate, you can clone individuals. Recently, I was watching this event. They were actually talking about how people clone themselves. The Burkina president fighting with another president. So the old lady in the village, when you see you say, "Oh, our presidents are fighting." Meanwhile, it's AI generated. It's fake. It's fake. Donald Trump saying Nana Akufo-Addo is on arrest warrant, and it's fake. So you see, when people are taking advantage of AI to create to do misinformation and disinformation, distort legit information. And when we adapt this technology, blockchain, the amount of participants on it, how can you lie? Everything is going to go through validation. And once it sticks and stays, that ends it. You cannot change anything again. Cannot change it. Look at the Web2 applications, social media, Facebook and others. You can go and say anything on Facebook. Either you are lying or there's this popular anonymous vulture, Basiru Bojojo, saying whatever he wants. And that is it. Either true or false, it goes there. And it's creating a lot of security threats, misinformation. But when you have a platform that could be able to verify certain information, it will work. Next, please. Now, founder entities. It's good to know the people that brought about Cardano. Input Output, headed by Charles Hoskinson. It's a software company, research driven, and what they do is to do a lot of business and development, have lawyers, they have chief engineers, chief technology officers, and they provide a lot of services. So Midnight is there, there's Cardano, there's Lace Wallet. There are several, I mean, there's Hydra, several products of input-output. If you are a web developer here, you should be aiming to land a job with some of these top giants. And the amount they can put you on, more than even 6 figures. A lot of us are interested in 6-figure salaries. Yes, if you Google and you check blockchain careers or blockchain jobs, if you look at the amounts they stay there, especially blockchain developer, $70,000 annual salary, 100,000, 200,000. Do you understand? If you get Ghana, if you're a programmer here, how much are you paid? The programmers, you can share. Okay, Cardano Foundation is there, and Cardano Foundation has been pushing a lot. In fact, it's doing a lot of things. It participates in Catalyst, doing enterprising. They work with, United Arab Emirates. They work with universities to onboard them, let them appreciate the essence of Cardano ecosystem. Do you understand? And that's solely what Cardano does. It's also into marketing. It's in charge of even the human resources. Most of the people working with the Cardano ecosystem, the Cardano Foundation actually handles it. So it's a non-profit organization, and largely it also organizes the annual Cardano Summit. But right now there's so much communities now coming aboard, such as Intersect, as a member-based organization, working closely with Cardano Foundation because we don't want centralization. So even as an entity within the ecosystem, the CEO, Charles, cannot just say, I want to do this. He has to consult, and it has to become a governance action submitted for people to vote. So once you have the native token ADA, you now have the voting power to be able to say, okay, I like this budget is fine, this allocation is good, and then you vote. And that's how transparency and decentralization works. Imego is also there. They do a lot of trainings, profit-oriented. They have courses, paid courses that you can go and take on programming. You can go and work with them on how to access certain blockchain opportunities. So these are the 3 major founding entities of Cardano blockchain. So I've explained all that. Now this is the roadmap. You see all these are individuals. Unfortunately, late now. But these are these are people. Okay, last slide, the previous slide. So this is just definition of IOHK. Input Output Hong Kong, their roles, Cardano Foundation rules, the function, Imego, which is what I explained. So I do not need to spend much time on that. Now this is the roadmap. The Byron era, foundation era, the 2 is the Shelley era, decentralization, smart contracts era, Gogian, the Basho scaling, and then the last one, governance era. So Cardano has to pass through all this. When you start a project, it has to, the basis of it, the foundation. So let's go. I think there's a little explanation on that. So founding era, basic functionality. I mean, it was more like having the Cardano native cryptocurrency on the testnet, and you could be able to what? Just send and receive ADA cryptocurrencies. Is that okay? Next, please. So the next era brought us to decentralization. You could what? You could stake your ADA. So when you have an amount of ADA, you can stake it. And when staking it basically means that you stake it with a particular stake pool, and they contribute to validating transactions on the blockchain. And that can give you rewards, called stake rewards. So if you have your ADA, like 20 ADA, 100 ADA, 1,000 ADA, you can stake it. It's not good to just leave it like that. Stake it with a particular stake pool, and that can give you an amount of rewards for a particular period of time. Smart contracts. You can create self-executing contracts. Either, have land titles, tenancy agreements executed on the on the smart contracts, and you can use Malawi and Bluetooth and all that to write on that. I think the developers that are here interested, we have like chunk of resources that can allow you to explore that. You can build dApps on the Cardano blockchain and deploy it. Is that okay? And yeah, please, scaling. That's the Basho era. Scalability. I think I indicated that. Trying to have interoperability opportunities for people to work with the chain, and then you scale it. Because I remember Charles Hoskinson making a remarks that if the world, Cardano should remain lively if the world's so that the world can run on Cardano. So if truly we want the world to run on Cardano, we need to be ensured that it has a lively community that can continue talking about it, penetrating every corner, so that we can be able to make waves in the in the world. Now this is the last era of Cardano, and in fact is now in full operation, Voltaire, which is governance. So with governance, it's basically giving the individual the power to now own ADA and then vote on budgets. So at the start of every year, when budgets are being allocated, holders of ADA have the power to to vote on governance actions. And even not just vote, you can decide to also you can decide to also pass on your voting power to someone. And how do you pass on your voting power? By registering as a delegated representative, the reps. So when you register as a direct, you can you can receive voting power from others. They pass on their voting power to you, delegate their ADA wallets or their ADA voting power for you, and you can take decisions on their behalf. So for catalyst voting, I think later we'll talk about that, the amount of ADA you will need to be able to participate in catalyst voting, as well as the others. So this is the Project Catalyst that most of us may be interested in. Project Catalyst is the grant platform where you perform several roles, but largely it's for proposers, people that want to propose ideas and get funding to build real-world solutions on Cardano. So now, it's not just being a proposer. Go next, please. It's not about being a proposer. By proposing new ideas, you can become a community reviewer without proposing. And what you do is to provide constructive feedback on proposals that have been submitted in the Project Catalyst ecosystem. Now, when proposals are submitted, it goes through a lot of stages. So during the community review stage, you rate proposals and give comments on the impact of it. There are three criteria: the impact, the feasibility, and then value for money. So you rate them and then you give your comments, and you get reward for that. And in fact, a certain lady was supposed to be here, Fidelia. Unfortunately, she couldn't leave Burger for Tamale because there was a conflict on the route. So she had to stay back due to the Boko, associated conflicts. Now, voters, you can be a voter with 25 ADA. Previously it was 500 ADA, but now 25 ADA to give people more, because the community actually brought the idea that it has to be reduced, so that with just 25 ADA you can vote on proposals. And when you vote on proposals, the aggregated proposals will be ranked based on the amount of voting power that it has got, and then that will determine that this proposal has gotten funded or not. You can be a milestone reviewer. So every funded proposer has to submit milestones. In the first place, once you are funded, you have to submit statement of milestones. If it's going to be 3 milestones, 4 milestones, 5 milestones, you submit every milestone. So when you submit the milestone, it has to go through, the milestone reviewers will go through that, and then they review. But first of all, it starts here. Community reviewers, when you register onto Catalyst, you are being put on level 0 automatically, or L0. So level 0 and level 1 reviewers don't have the chance to become milestone reviewers. For level 2 reviewers can be milestone reviewers, because they now have more experience on community review processes and they can review milestones. So after reviewing statement of milestone during the onboarding stage, when projects started, when the projects are now executed, they will be submitting reports. So at the end of implementing every milestone, you submit reports. For instance, if you say you are going to organize an event, after the event, you submit a report. So if you submit a report, milestone reviewers, as even a side gig you are doing it, I mean, you get a lot of money from that. There are a lot of guys, especially our southern folks, making a lot of money from this by just performing roles of community reviewer, voters. Voting rewards is not that much, but milestone reviewers and community reviewers, you get a lot, because once you sign up, they allocate proposals to you. For level 0 reviewers, you get up to 30 proposals allocations to review, and then for level 2, you get up to 80 to review, and you get paid for reviewing proposals. Next, please. Now, we want to practicalize this. We want to practicalize that. These are several wallets you can have on Cardano. But like I mentioned, for you to participate actively, you need to have the wallet so that you can hold your ADA. And after having the wallet, you then sign on to Catalyst and start participating. Greeting your fans. Is that okay? Are we progressing? Okay, so you can install it. Yes, and go through the process. You see, bring your wallet. Tap on it. Let me do it for the start works here. Let's see if we can access it. So let's start. If we check the Wi-Fi, there's OpenTech. Maybe it will help. Choose a password for it. Put your phrase down, put it down.
Ready to receive.
Who is now setting up the wallet?